you organizers, my dear fellow participants of this workshop. Good evening everyone. So I am going to talk about the importance of soil and its nutrients, and we talk about a lot of sensors for moisture measurement and nutrient measurement, and on the other side it may look very nice. Yes, I have developed a sensor which will work to the accuracy of 90%, 95%, but when you go and touch the soil, its behavior will be different. You will face a lot of challenges, and that is what I am going to speak today's lecture. Soil, we say it is soul of infinitive life. So it is a three-dimensional body. It has length, breadth and depth. It is a living system, so we have to understand how difficult to understand the soil. It is a highly complex system. It is not a simple material like your sand or clay, stone. It is a living system. It has a lot of mechanisms. So I will be talking about the importance of soil sampling, because we have to derive a representative soil sample in order to get a proper result, and about the plant nutrients, then soil moisture and nutrient, there is interconnection, and sensors available for soil moisture estimation, nutrient estimation, and we will be talking about the nutrient deficiency and how to monitor this deficiency either within soil or above the canopy. So soil sampling is a very important process we need to concentrate, because it represents your land. It may be 1 acre or 5 acre, 10 acre, 15 acre. So deriving a representative soil sample is very, very important, like your blood sample. So that is what we need to concentrate. So we have to decide the soil sample based on the size of the area, purpose of the sampling and method of sampling, etc. So coming to the types of sampling, there are different types available. So as a farmer, they will go for, we suggest the farmer to go for whole field average. Suppose a farmer owns 5 acre, we suggest him to take 5 or 6 samples around his field, pool them, get a representative soil sample of 1 kg or 2 kg, that is sufficient. If you are going for a scientific study, you go for grid sampling, you divide the field into different grids of your convenient size, collect samples and do it systematically. And there are geographic unit soil sample. Once you have the knowledge of the field, you can go with that. And there are nowadays on-the-go soil samplers available, automated soil samplers with sensors available to collect the sample and analyze the results. Yes, either you can concentrate on surface or subsurface. So there are two depths we need to look into. Surface, which limits up to 15 centimeter. So anything below 15 centimeter is called a subsurface sample. So for most of the fertility related parameters, we concentrate on the surface of the soil, which is very, very important, where your biological activity is so high, your root activity is so high, and your chemical activity will be also very high. So surface sampling is always recommended for fertility related parameters, and for other parameters you have to go below the surface in order to see what is there. This is a look at the profile. So we always look at the surface. It is not so. You will find different color or texture or other conditions. So this is what the 15 centimeter we have to derive samples. These are some of the photographs you need to involve in the field. And for subsurface sampling, you can use augers or core samplers to derive samples at various depths. And if you want to study in detail, you have to dig a profile, get into the pit, collect samples, study systematically, because you have a lot of variations in the soil. The surface looks similar, but when you go down, it will be different for different soils. We need to understand. So interestingly, this is a vertical block soil. We call it as black cotton soil, Karisalman. It is completely dark on the surface, maybe up to 1 meter or so, and below that it is completely red. So this is natural. So the black soil typically forms from the red parent material. So this is a typical example of why we need to study the profile. There are well-established methods available to estimate the parameters, because these methods are very well designed to replicate the plant uptake status. So we use different extractant to derive phosphorus, nitrogen and potassium. That will very well coincide with the plant uptake, so that you can go for recommendation. And looking to the nutrients, yes, plant requires more than 17 elements for their growth. They are called essential elements, right from nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. They are called macronutrients or major nutrients. They require in large quantities. There are micronutrients which require in very less quantity, but it is essential. Their role in plant metabolism, and this is I need to talk about. And in order to emphasize the importance of all essential nutrients, a scientist from Germany, Justice von Liebig, in the year 1873, proposed this law of minimum. He states that when all nutrients are in sufficient quantity except one, that deficient nutrient will decide your yield. Suppose the iron is deficient in a soil, your crop yield is decided by the deficient nutrient. That means you have to feed the soil with the optimum quantity of nutrients. So these are all the recommendations we generate from the soil testing, like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, low, medium, high. Accordingly, we just apply the nutrients, for which we have developed a software called CEFIPRA that I did not present here. Decision support system for integrated fertilizer recommendation. It is a computer friendly, user friendly software. When you feed the input value, that will generate the fertilizer recommendation automatically. And yes, when you apply nutrients, how much the plant will take up. So interestingly, for in the case of nitrogen, only 30 to 50% of the nutrients goes to the plant. The remaining gets wasted. Similarly for other nutrients. So coming to the micronutrients, pathetically, the use efficiency is very, very poor. It is 2 to 5 or 1 to 2 kg only. What happens to the remaining nutrients? Either it gets fixed in the soil or lost from the soil system due to many factors, which is beyond the control of all the eminent scientists. This is quite to happen in natural system. Just show you how much we apply to get the crop yield of 330 million metric tons in India. It is about 30 million tons of fertilizers we apply in India. Nutrients in terms of nitrogen and phosphorus, potassium, to get the yield of 330 million tons of metric ton. So this is what the nutrient fertilizer usage in India. So coming to the soil moisture, many speakers spoke about the importance of soil moisture. And when the soil moisture is optimum, your plant will take up the nutrient at optimal level. They are highly interlinked. I don't need to give much explanation about that. They are interlinked. Both are very much essential. This picture will explain you what is the importance of soil moisture. It must be optimum. When it is excess, you will have problem of wilting and other issue. And when it is deficient, definitely we know what will happen. So soil moisture is very, very important, and we need to maintain optimum soil moisture. And sensors for soil moisture, yes, as far as soil moisture is concerned, sensors are pakka. It is very well available. It has more than 90% accuracy because it is one-to-one contact. The sensor just contact with the water molecule and get the data. And coming to the nutrient sensor, here we have lot of problems. They work with either two principles. One is based on the direct contact of ions. There are nitrate, phosphate, ammonium, then other nutrient ion present in the soil. The sensor contact with the individual nutrients with the help of electrode and get the result. The another principle is based on the indirect measurement. So they just directly measure the electrical conductivity and correlate with the nutrient content, which is highly challenging one. So as a result, we have lot of challenges or limitations. And as far as sensors are concerned, you have initial investment which is higher, and calibration maintenance is again a problem, and sensor variability, this is biggest problem we need to address. And soil variability, yes, we have lot of soils, soil type. There are more than 10,000 soil types are there around the world. There are 12 soil textures and compaction due to the movement of equipments. So as a result, you have a lot of variation. That variation has to be recorded by your sensor which is not so in the present day technology. Yes. So coming to the other alternative, what we can suggest to in order to avoid or escape from this. So I suggest to look at the top. So when the crop is in the field, when there is a nutrient deficiency, it will express symptoms. So that symptoms can be very well captured by the sensors, which is available largely nowadays, and that can be correlated with the nutrient deficiency, and you can allow the other technology or recommendation to correct that deficiency. This is, for example, nitrogen deficiency in maize, sunflower, green gram, and iron deficiency in groundnut. So you can very well capture this kind of deficiency and make a recommendation. Similarly for phosphorus, which is very typical, browning in the case of corn, maize, and cotton, you can observe this kind of deficiency, tomato. Similar to that of this phosphorus, for other nutrients also, a typical symptoms are being expressed by each and every crop that are well established, available for recommendation. As a result, we can go for crop level, canopy level monitoring or sensing, and there are a lot of technologies available. My previous speaker spoke about the hyperspectral sensor and other sensor. All these technologies are working based on the remote sensing principle. So availability of sensor is not at all a problem. Like spectroradiometer, if the area is very large, you can use satellite technology. So using spectroradiometer, myself studied the nutrient deficiency symptoms in paddy, maize, cotton and groundnut. It is very well working. So we have very good technology for using this kind of radiometer, and that can be either mounted in the drone or any other platform, so that we can monitor the area very thoroughly. And still they have a lot of limitations, because the stress induced sampling error may influence the chlorophyll content, for example. As a result, your results may be erroneous, and there are number of varieties and species available in the crop that may also pose a lot of challenges for the measurement, but that can be addressed with the help of hyperspectral and other technologies. And these techniques are not helpful for detecting luxurious consumption. When some nutrients are taken up in large quantity, it is very difficult to predict because of saturation, which I was mentioning before, and high cost, and there are sensors available that can be mounted easily. So finally, I would suggest these points as a recommendation. So prevention is better than cure. Don't force the crop to express symptoms. Address before the sowing itself. So pre-sowing or planting soil testing and based nutrient application is the best choice. If it is not available, all your technology will come into the field. And sensor-based irrigation scheduling is cost effective. It is practically feasible. As far as nutrients are concerned, we need to develop a cost effective and portable robotic or UAV based sensor for a thorough study of crops, and yes, in order to have a reliable adoption at the farmers level. Thank you very much.
சரி, இப்போ நாங்கள் எல்லாம் அங்க வேளாண்மையில் மாறிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
ஆமாம், அது பாயிண்ட் நல்ல பாயிண்ட் கேளுங்க.
இதில் இதுக்கு தகுந்த உர மேம்பாட்டு திட்டம் ஏதாவது உங்கள்கிட்ட இருக்கா? அதுக்கு எங்களுக்கு ஒரு நல்ல வழி கிடைக்குமாங்கிறது என்னுடைய கேள்வி.
இந்த மாதிரி ப்ராப்ளத்தை அட்ரஸ் பண்ணுறது நம்ம தனியாக ஒரு துறை ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கிறாங்க, நம்மாழ்வார் அங்கக வேளாண்மை துறைன்னு சொல்லி. அதில் வந்து இப்போ தான் நம்ம ஆராய்ச்சி பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கிறோம். அதாவது தலைச்சத்து நம்ம யூரியா சொல்கிறோம், உதாரணத்துக்கு நெல்லுக்கு 100 கிலோ போடணுன்ட்டுங்க. அந்த 100 கிலோ யூரியா போடுறதுக்கு பதிலாக அங்கக உரமாக போடணும்னா எவ்வளோ போடணும், அது போட்டால் பயிர்களுக்கு எவ்வளோ போய் சேரும். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஆராய்ச்சிகளாக இப்போ தொடங்கி நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்குது. ஆனால் நீங்கள் சொல்கிற மாதிரி கிடைச்சதுன்னா தாராளமாக போடலாம், எந்த பிரச்சனையும் இல்லை. இப்போ கிடைக்காம போகிறதுனால தான் நம்ம வந்து எல்லாத்தையும் ரெண்டையும் சேர்த்து போட சொல்லி சொல்கிறோம். ஒருங்கிணைந்த உர நிர்வாகம், இன்டகிரேட்டட் நியூட்ரியன் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்னு சொல்லி. நீங்கள் வந்து முழுசாக அங்கக வேளாண்மைக்கு போகணும்னா நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குது. அதெல்லாம் நம்ம சேலஞ்சு இருந்ததுன்னா கண்டிப்பாக பண்ணலாம். இல்லைன்னா ரெண்டையும் சேர்ந்து போடுறது தான் நமக்கு வந்து, ஏன்னா இப்போ வெளியோடு பேசியிருந்தோம், மாடுகள் இப்போ அதிகம் கிடையாதுங்க, உரம் கிடைக்கிறதில்ல, சாணம் கிடைக்கிறதில்ல. இந்த பிரச்சனையில் வந்து அங்கக வேளாண்மை மட்டும் போகிறதுங்கிறது வந்து கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமான சூழ்நிலை. போனால் சந்தோஷம், நம்ம யாரும் தடுக்கிறது இல்லை.
எல்லாத்துக்கும் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு சார்.
என்னங்க?
அப்படி இங்கிலீஷில் டாக் பண்ணிருங்க எல்லாத்துக்கும்.
Yes, farmer is asking about the feasibility of organic farming. Yes, we can go for organic farming provided you get all the required input to replace the chemical fertilizers which I have mentioned earlier. It is not possible nowadays. So limited organic manures only available. If available, you have to decompose and apply to the field. So that is the challenge which we are facing. Thank you very much.
Long live India and France friendship.